Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML. This is Division 5 for round 1 of Season 1 as we take in the Australian Grand Prix from the Albert Park Street Circuit in Melbourne, Australia. Good evening everyone, I am James Head, going to be taking you through the stream as always. He is alongside me tonight in the commentary box as always for Division 5 and for the rest of the season. It is Paco Suarez. Paco, how you doing?
Doing fine, mate. I mean, really excited because we can see some familiar names that we already saw last season in TTL F1 League 2. So it's good to see some familiar faces.
It is fantastic to see some familiar faces, and I think obviously we have got the merge between TMC and TTL completed. There are a few new names as well, so let me run you through the drivers for tonight. In the Mercedes, it is Mays and Jeffrey. In the Ferrari, it is Atlas Copo and Schumi, Team OWR there in the Ferrari. In the Red Bull, it is Maximus and the Welshman Tom. In the McLaren, it is Invictus and Nilsson. I'm not going to pronounce the rest of his name, but Nilsson, certainly the German, is in the McLaren. You can see him there a little bit as well. Racing Point have Jibby Storm and Tekken as their drivers. In the Alfa Romeo, it is Silas and Day Miles, the Welshman who debuted quite well in the evaluation race last week. In the Renault, it is Paul McGinns and Passels. In the Haas, it is NSR Storm and Braywich. In the AlphaTauri, it is I Am Nobody. I hope he isn't nobody, because obviously he's filling out a vacant seat pretty much if he is. And Zero, so team a Dutch pairing there for the AlphaTauris. And in the Williams is Thomas and Art Vanderlei for OWR as well. Looking at those drivers then, who strikes out at you as being potentially on paper a leading title contender coming into tonight?
Well, I have to say that from the new drivers, I haven't really seen much, right? But I know that if Maximus, for example, or even Jeffrey, if they have made a step forward in this game, I think they probably could be contenders for today's win and probably to maybe fight for the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think obviously Maximus had some very good pace. He won one round last season even when it was TTL F1 League 2, and I believe it was in Britain, if I'm not mistaken, where he picked up that win. Obviously Britain going to be coming later in the calendar, but this is the season opener, of course, at the Albert Park Circuit. 16 turns await the drivers out on track, 10 to the right and 6 to the left, 5.3 kilometres in length, and a race distance of roughly about 153.11 kilometres as well. 3 DRS zones, plenty of overtaking. What are the expectations out on track for these guys tonight? What lap time should we be seeing in qualifying?
I think I haven't raced much in Australia and I haven't seen much action, but from what I've seen in time trial, right, and knowing the difference there is between time trial and multiplayer sessions, I think we should be seeing probably 20 highs or maybe 21 lows. I think the time should be around there. Maybe I'm really far from what's gonna happen on track, but I think those times could be the ones we're looking for.
No, honestly, I think you're in the right ballpark there, because I covered Division 2 last night, obviously, with you not being here, and the lap time was a 19.2 for Division 2, and I think it was a 19.4 for Division 3. So with that being said, for Division 5, we should be seeing, I think lap times could nick into the very late 119s, like a 119.8 or a 119.9, but we should see lap times in and around the 120s, I think. This is Division 5. Don't expect somebody in this lobby, by the way, to be about a second quicker ahead of everyone else. That is not going to be happening here tonight. And I think the placements actually, got to speak about it to Dan and the rest of the admin team as well. Fantastic placements from what we've seen so far. Division 1 had some great action, what we covered, myself and Kieran McGinley. Division 2 as well was brilliant, and the penalties really threw the race pretty much into anybody's hands. Kieran McGinley with that great drive actually finishing 6th last night as well. I'll not ruin anything else, but the session countdown has started. We've got about 20 seconds to go. Final thoughts from you, Paco, before we get going. your expectation. Well, I've already covered the expectations. What are you wanting to see? Predict a top 3 for me. Be that Mystic Meg that we all need.
Wait, already? We haven't even seen qualifying. You know that we're really bad with these things, but...
Top 3 for qualifying.
For qualifying?
Yeah.
Alright, if it's for qualifying, then... I don't know. I'm gonna put Maximus on pole. I don't know why, because I have full faith in him. I'm gonna put May third, and I'm gonna try to put... who's the guy I saw earlier that was from the Netherlands? Now I'm lost.
There's so many Dutchmen. Is it Zero, perhaps?
Could be. Yeah. I think it was him. Yeah, I'm gonna put him second. Yeah.
Yeah, so good pairing, good top 3, I think that, to be honest, on paper, but obviously we're going to be seeing how these guys get on. Essentially think of it like this way. TTL F1 League 2 last season has essentially been split up with the new drivers coming in from TMC as well, and then we have, I think, 19 drivers here tonight, which is fantastic for a Division 5 race. It is one of the highest attendances, I think, out of any division so far this season, but... That being said, we are now getting into qualifying. Beautiful blue skies here, not like the overcast conditions that we had last night in Division 2. And a 118.8 was medium pilot's time in Division 1. A 119.2 it was from XL Gary, who set on pole position. It was actually Wesker who got pole, but he had a 5-place grid penalty, so Gary started on pole then in Division 2. If you don't want Division 2 spoilers, tune out and watch Division 4. I think that's the best thing to say about that. But 30 seconds already into qualifying. The first cars are now coming out on track. 16 turns. This is quite a fearsome track, I think, for a season opener. And there's going to be plenty of invalidations, I feel.
For me, Australia is like probably the best track to start off the season. In real life, because people are with the hype, of a new season, and they don't really care about the show that they're gonna give on track. They just care about that F1 is back. And Australia it's a really nice track, so it's really strict, because if you just exceed a little bit the limits, you're gonna get an invalidation. So drivers will really have to watch out for that in their quali laps.
Yeah, I think what I've noticed from covering Division 1 and 2 so far this week is that the track limits around this track are pretty severe. If you go 2 wheels off the track, you pretty much are going to pick up an invalidation. That is what we're talking about. So the fine limits of these drivers out on track are going to be tested quite a lot, and the track limits are going to be tested quite a lot as well. The Renault of Paul McGuinness is first out on track. The Scotsman, who is, I believe, part of TMC and many other leagues as well, and I think he's been part of TGP, if I'm not mistaken, as well, going back into my league racing days. Paul McGuinness, though, coming around the final corner, and he's on a set of medium compound of tyres, so we don't expect a quick lap from him. He's probably just seen what the tyres are going to be like. So the Renault now comes across the line. A couple of cars rejoining out in front of him. That's Jeffrey and I'm Nobody getting out of the way there, cutting across the grass through turn 1. But Paul McGuinness safely through turns 1 and 2, opens up the DRS zone. The second DRS zone running down towards turn 3. Hard on the brakes here, 190 reach, misses the apex completely, runs wide, trying to prioritise the run through here, now through turn 4, and then towards turn 5. You can see the Melbourne skyline really fighting, and that is an invalidation. That's what we talk about. The invalidations really severe around this track, and Paul McGuinness, normally, on F1 2019, that wouldn't be an invalidation, but it is, and he's backed off his lap.
Yeah, I mean, it has been really unfortunate, but right now, just behind him was a Red Bull from Tom, that it's now on a lap. He hasn't invalidated. He's ending the second sector, about to go turn 11 and turn 12, which are really tricky, because you have to watch out to not lose the back end, and also to not invalidate in this corner here. We can see he opens DRS, 8th gear. He has some traffic ahead, but let's hope that they do not block him. As we can see a car going, yeah, it was an AlphaTauri on the grass. But now the Red Bull just finishing the lap. Really important to really have a good exit here. And let's see what Tom sets. Tom he showed a massive improvement during last season, so probably this one should be similar, as he sets a 1:22.5.
1:22.5, but I think he can definitely improve on that lap. That might have been a lap littered full of mistakes. You can tell because Tekken has already gone quicker with a 1:20.9. So clearly, Tom, that lap was littered with mistakes, and Atlas Copel goes second ahead of him with a 21.4. Don't judge a book by its cover in the early stages of qualifying. These are not going to be the final times that these guys set, but Tekken out on top in the Racing Point. Similar to Friday practice 2 at Silverstone with Lance Stroll setting the fastest time.
Yeah, definitely the Racing Point or the Tracing Point, definitely really fast here. So let's hope that actually Racing Point, I would say that in this league they have a really good pairing of drivers. So it should be exciting to see what they are able to do. As we can see, his teammate Jive Storm is about to start his second attempt as he invalidated the first one.
Yeah, he's just coming across the line there. Would have been a 27.6 coming across the line. So clearly invalidating. Lovely through turn 1 and just catching the inside curve through turn 2. There was a curve there. That was the AstroTurf he was catching. But Jippy Storm now running down towards turn 3. One of the older guys, I think, out on track here tonight. And the Dutchman fighting his way through turn 4. Looking a little bit shabby through there, if I've got to be honest. Now through turn 5, catches the inside curve. What a recovery. Goodness me, he could have been round through there. 27.2 through the first sector. And again, a first sector really littered full of mistakes and maybe a little bit of hesitation as well. But Jippy Storm now coming up towards turns 9 and 10. The chicane, just misjudging that. He's got to apply the power really on the exit of the corner rather than the entrance of the corner. I think that's what we can pick up on this lap so far. Coming through the middle sector, he's around Tom's sort of lap time. 49.4 through the middle sector, and again catching the inside curve coming through turn 12. This has been, as I say, a lap littered full of mistakes. Invictus, by the way, has gone second in the McLaren with a 1:21.1, and Dave Miles has gone fourth with a 1:21.7 as well. Jippy Storm now coming around the final 2 corners, misses his braking point completely for turn 15, nearly going towards New Zealand there as he comes around the final corner. And Jippy Storm, it hasn't actually been too bad of a lap. I think he could go ahead of Tom coming across the line. He doesn't, he goes 8th, 22.8, and just behind Thomas in 7th position. Jippy Storm in 8th.
Yeah, definitely plenty of things he can improve on his lap. But, well, he still have 11 minutes, well, almost 12 minutes ahead. So he should be able to have another go and try and maybe get on that top 5.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, I think, all of these guys. We see Jippy Storm just getting out the way there. Passels is on a lap as well, the Belgian, and hopefully he's going to be setting a very good time. By the way, if there is any lag or anything like that, we have got thunderstorms due up here in the north of England, so hopefully they're not going to interfere with the commentary. Passels now coming round the final 2 corners. Belgian looking quite good through the final 2 corners as he comes through turn 16 now. Let's see what lap time this is going to be. He's going to be in around I am nobody Tom sort of area, I think. Yeah, right in between. Yeah. And only 4 thousandths off I am nobody as he goes 6th with 1:22.127. Only 4 thousandths off the car ahead.
Yeah, really decent lap from Puzzles. As I'm now watching the Haas from Braywich. Oh, and that's into the wall. He goes, and the Ferrari and the Haas who crashed into each other, and he gets a 5-place grid penalty.
See, these 5-place grid penalties aren't coming up on the bottom of my screen. Zero was coming round the final corner as well. What are your predictions, by the way, for the top 3? Let's see what he's going to set. He goes 4th, 1:21.6, looking good on the pace so far. Zero goes 4th in that AlphaTauri. Schumi has retired from the session, and I'm not sure if there was... He crashed into the wall. He crashed into the wall, I think. That was with Braywich just coming past, I think. We've just missed that. Coming back on board with him.
He had no front wing from the crash with Braywich, and I think he believed that he could turn more than what he expected, but he just went into the wall.
Yeah, Braywich actually missing both his end plates as well. as a result of that collision as he runs wide coming through turn 13. Let's run on board with Ard Vanderlei, who's just further behind him out on track in that new look Williams. Of course, they have got rid of that roll kit livery that was once on board with the car, and Ard Vanderlei now coming through the middle sector. 52.2. I think this is just a banker lap, to be honest, for the Norwegian as he comes through turns 11 and 12.
Look the ERS.
Yeah, ERS
He's
down
0.
Yeah, 92% of ERS, so he's conserving this, I think, for a second run, perhaps, and trying to get it to a full ERS usage, which he has now got. As he comes around turn 14, just see if there's anybody else on laps. I don't think there is. Paul McGinn's might be coming through the middle sector. Just riding on board with him through the middle sector. No, he's not.
He's. I think he's gonna try another lap. Probably because he just missed the first sector or whatever. But let's see if he goes on another attempt. But, Maximus just started his lap.
He has just started his lap, and we're on board with him as he comes now behind Ard Vanderlei, who has just started a lap actually in front of him. So we're going to see the pace of these guys out on track. Maximus will be hoping that Ard Vanderlei doesn't get in the way. There's yellow flags just coming through turn 5, and that is I'm Nobody just getting out of the way there. Maximus 26.9 through the first sector. Not looking too bad through the first sector as he comes through turn 7 and 8. Ard Vanderlei just caught the grass in front of him. Tekken still out on top, Invictus second, Atlas Copel now third with Paul McGinn's in fourth, and Zero rounding off your top 5 if you are just tuning in. Maximus on a lap as he comes towards the end of the middle sector. Gotta be honest, this is one of the quickest middle sectors I think we've seen so far tonight. It's a 49 flat through the middle. He's going to have that dirty air though with Art Vanderlei just in front of him. And they're both running DRS, of course. It's like literally Maximus is chasing. Then Art Vanderlei in a spun. Art Vanderlei spins in front of Maximus. But Maximus still continues on with the lap. Didn't get put off by the car in front spinning. As he now comes round the final corner. The final 2 corners for Maximus. And I think, actually, he could go second with this coming across the line. No, 5th. 21.6. Not too bad though, he's only 1200ths ahead of Zero.
Yeah, and to be honest, I honestly think that he could probably have been blocked a little bit by Art Vanderlei. I think he had dirty air during most of the lap, so I think that didn't help. Yeah,
Maximus obviously 21.6. He has gone 5th with that lap though, so it's still a good lap. Art Vanderlei, by the way, has been disqualified from the session. I'm presuming because he reversed the wrong way out on track. There is a glitch within the game where if you reverse the wrong way on track, it does really screw you over. That's what I'm going to say. It does.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as always, Codemaster, giving us a full game, but not a full game of glitches, But anyway, 6 minutes remaining, and right now I can only see Braywich on a lap, right?
Yeah, Jeffrey actually has just started the lap as well. He's coming through the first sector.
Thomas.
And Thomas as well, who is, just ahead of him out on track. Who's ahead of each other out on track?
Well, right now, Yomis, it's the Williams that just finished the second sector, and he's improving by 1 second.
Oh, and he's invalidated.
Invalidated, yeah.
Through turn 12.
Oh, and Jeffrey has invalidated his lap as well.
Yeah, that might have been through the chicane, coming through turns 9 and 10 possibly for Jeffrey. So both of them not going to be improving. Jeffrey was 3 tenths up in that first sector before he invalidated his lap. I'm Nobody across the line. Yeah, goes 8th, I think, with that lap. Or has he just started one?
No, he has finished the lap and he went 8th.
Yeah, 121.7. He's only a second off. There's quite a big spot variety, I've got to say, within the lap times here. We normally see quite a close qualifying session, but honestly, here in Australia, it is top 8 covered by a second, and then everyone else, the whole field really, is covered by, 2.4 seconds back down to Nilsson in 14th?
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't seem too big, the gap, and we can see Bray, which goes up to 8. But look at Maith, because he was on a really good lap. That second sector was 49.5, which probably is one of the fastest on the whole session. Let's see how he finishes the lap. Oh, but I think that last sector could probably be not good.
Yeah, Maith's 22.5. Coming across the line just ahead of his teammate. His teammate was improving 3 tenths up. Could be still time to find on that lap. We'll have to wait and see if he can improve. He's 1.8 seconds off Tekken currently, who is still out on top. To be honest, I think Tekken at this stage, if you were him, would you go out for another run and try and improve on that lap? Because there's quite a big difference between himself and Atlas Copel. There's 0.4 of a second.
But honestly, being this the first race of the season, you know, and knowing that probably some of the guys I wouldn't say that it was a banker, but I think they went a little bit cautious, you know, on the curbs, on the everything to not invalidate, and probably most of these guys are gonna go fully aggressive on that last attempt. So if I was Tekken, I wouldn't get overconfident. I would stay and maybe try another lap.
Try another lap. I think, honestly, that might be the right thing to do as well. Division 4, by the way, is live. If you're not tuning in for that and you want an update, I'm going to give you that. There's only 15 drivers, so we've got the nice lobby, I think, with 19 drivers in here tonight in Division 5. But Martin Bell out on top, Cam in second, and Axnez in third, with just 1 minute and 35 seconds to go in qualifying.
Yeah, definitely it looks a really interesting effort, but you know, definitely our tier, probably the best commentators, better drivers, you know, stay with us, come on. But yeah, no, both tiers are really good, both commentators in Division 4. I think TTE has done a great work, you know, finding commentators for their divisions. And right now, just watching, Puzzles just finished the second sector, and he was improving by half a second.
Yeah, he is improving. We're right on board with him as well, coming through turn 13. Very nice, I've got to say, through that chicane. He's improving massively on this lap. Looks very confident, I've got to say, and very crisp and very clean, I think, this lap. All the C's for Passelt as he now comes round the final corner. Tekken still currently out on top. Passelt is going to improve. He could go fourth, I think, with this lap. Coming across the line, he does go fourth.
Oh,
by 500ths of a second, and that is a prediction you can partake in your Friday night drinking game. Yeah, I've got a prediction right. There you go. James Head's bingo, not James Head's drinking game this season.
Yeah, definitely. You actually nailed it, but let's see how that ends, because there's still 2 minutes to go. Right now, Zero, it's on a lap. I don't know if, well, I think he was improving marginally on that first sector. Let's see what he does in the second one. Oh, purple.
Cuts it beautifully through turn 11.
Yeah.
Really good through the chicane. That's the best I've seen all night through there. And Zero could be landing himself. If he improves this final sector, honestly, he could go maybe to the likes of Atlas Copel and Victus with this lap. Really on the power, coming through 14. Just got to be a little bit more tentative coming through into the final two corners. Now through 15 and into 16. The AlphaTauri comes through the final corner, very nicely controlled. And Zero is going to go second, I think, with this. Coming across the line. Yeah, 120.9. Really found the time. Found 5/10 alone in that final sector. So Zero puts him into second. Whether that's enough, though, it remains to be seen. He's only got one more crack of the cherry, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. 1 minute and 15, and watch out, because now Invictus going. Oh no, but he invalidated.
Oh, he would have gone.
That would have been.
Would have gone second.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. But let's see who else could be on a lap right now. Tekken actually is on a lap, and he sets purple in that second sector. But the exit from turn 12 was not the best one.
Ooh.
But let's see how he ends the lap.
Hopefully, coming through turn 13, he's improving currently by nearly 2.5 tenths. Tekken now through turn 14, very quick through 14. And now into 15, got caught in the grass slightly on the exit of the outside curb of 14. Now through 15 and 16, this is a very scrappy final sector. I'd be very surprised if this is an improvement. Tekken across the line doesn't improve. That final sector blew it for him.
Yeah, definitely. It was not a bad lap. But yeah, that third sector, I mean, this is what Australia has, that you can actually gain a lot, but then on the third sector, if you just don't nail the apex and all that, you can easily lose what you've gained. And right now,
great way
and
to
the
stun.
house goes into the wall.
Yeah, Brewich just losing it on the outside curve, it looked like, out of turn 12. We caught that pretty much right on time. He's lost his front wing, and the Norwegian will not be improving on his lap. He'd be hoping that I Am Nobody will not improve on his lap, and he won't because it's invalid, and he's 5/10ths down through the first sector.
Yeah.
So,
Jeffrey is the only one on the lap.
and
That
Silas
is actually
as well.
improving to 10.5. Yeah, and I'm Silas.
Yeah, Silas
he's ahead.
Silas is ahead of him out on track, so we'll cut to ball on board with Silas. Zero, I think. There is I Am Nobody. Silas now coming through the middle sector. Just misses the curve there through turn 12. Looking a little bit scrappy through there. There's a yellow flag, which I think is I Am Nobody getting out of the way. No, sorry, it's Brewich getting out of the way on the right-hand side. As now we come through the final couple of corners with Silas. We've got as well Jeffrey, as you say, on a lap. He's invalidated through 14. Silas, so not going to be improving this lap at all. Let's run on board with him and see what it could have been.
Yeah, Jeffrey's on a really good lap. Like, if he's not in the top 7, I would be surprised, to be honest.
Jeffrey ran the final corner, now to cross the start-finish line, goes 5th.
There we go.
121.2, and Atlas Copo goes quickest with a 120.6. He absolutely breaks the heart of Tekken. And Atlas Copo literally at the death, the final car to come across the line. It's like Recon from Division 1 last season. Atlas Copo takes it by a good 10.5 of a second as well. So the Norwegian on top from Tekken second and Zero in third. And only 3 drivers getting into the 120s.
Yeah, surprising. In the end, I nailed it, my prediction. I mean, I said that we were going to see high 20s and probably most of the times in 21s.
Brewich has been disqualified from the session when he's in the pit lane.
Yeah, he was trying to enter and he was losing the car, and I think he was stuck in the pit lane. Probably that's why.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
I mean, typical. So we've had 3 drivers actually disqualified from the session. Dave Miles, Brewich and Art Vanderlei all disqualified from the session, probably for various reasons. Yeah. But that's a shame. Schumi as well, a big shocker, down in 16th. I thought he would have actually set a lap, he didn't. So the Ferrari down there in 16th. We're just waiting on Parcells to retire from the session. Atlas Copo though out on top, Tekken second, Zero in third. Halvor, by the way, who is supporting, I think, the OWR guys, is watching both streams at the same time. Good evening to Halvor, first of all, and second of all, what on earth is your setup like to have 2 streams run at the same time?
I mean, brilliant, you know, he wants to support both. Well, he's welcome. He's really welcome.
He's supporting you as well in the PSGL F7 Championship.
Is he?
He is!
Oh,
I've seen the comments in there.
Yes, what a legend then. What a legend.
What a legend indeed. But Atlas Copo takes it. We'll run you through the full grid order in just a second. And here we go. Atlas Copo on top by 10.5 from Tekken in second. Zero's finishing third with Invictus in fourth. Jeffrey in fifth with Parcells in sixth. Paul McGinn's in seventh. Maximus in eighth. Only 8 drivers within a second of each other out on track. So quite sparse really in terms of the times. I'm Nobody in 9th, Tom in 10th, filling out the top 10 with Silas 11th, Jippy Storm 12th, Nulson 13th, Mays in 14th, Thomas in 15th, Schumi not setting a time in 16th, Dane Miles, Brewich and Art Vanderlei all disqualified from the session. You weren't too bad with your prediction. You got 0 there in the top 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got a drive, not in the correct order, but at least I got 1, right? Well,
better than me.
Yeah, definitely. No, but yeah, it's really difficult, to be honest. No, I did TJ invite because I've seen the comment, the comment on the stream. He said disappointed that Paco doesn't recognize my name. I did. Don't worry, to be honest, I did. But yeah, before this starts, and we have to speak about the strategy, what I'm gonna ask. Top 3. quickly.
Oh, top 3 for me. I'll need to have the order up coming to the left-hand side of me before I take that. But I think we can speak about the strategy more in detail as the session countdown now starts down towards 30 seconds. The countdown will begin to the formation lap. And hopefully there is a formation lap. There's been no buggering of the lobby settings. But the strategy around here, it's quite interesting because if there's an early safety car, it will really turn the race, I think, from a 1-stop into a 2-stop. Most drivers will go for a medium set of tyres. If you tuned into Division 2 last night, we had 2 safety cars and I think a VSC, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So it was really, really top-notch stuff. Formation lap is about to begin, though, and predicted pit stop strategy, lap 9 to lap 11, and lap 8 to lap 11 for a 2-stop as well. 1 stop being lap 9 to lap 11 from softs to hard. Possible 20 laps on a set of hards?
Yeah, it's really, you can easily do it. It's true that from the previous game, right, the tire were, and Brewich gets disqualified from the formation lap. But it's true that from the previous game, tire wear has been higher, right? But you can still do the 1-stop with hard, speeding on lap 9. But then if you wait until lap 11, lap 12, you can easily go mediums till the end.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. And of course, these guys, I hope that we don't get a repeat of last night where literally everybody ghosted. And it was the cleanest lap 1 I think I've ever seen, with everyone ghosted, to be honest. It was quite a spectacle because all my timings glitched and everything on the left-hand side, which wasn't great for the first lap, but hopefully we don't get that tonight. Top 3, by the way, I'm going to make my prediction early. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go for Tekken for the win. I think he might have better race pace than he does qualifying pace, just purely on the base that only Atlas Copel beat him in qualifying. I think Tekken will take the win. For second, I'm going to go for Atlas Copel for second, and for third, I'm going to go one down towards the bottom half of the top 10, Maximus for third. What about you?
I'm gonna have full confidence on the Dutch. I'm gonna put Zero first. I'm gonna put Atlas Copo second, and I'm gonna put Jeffrey third. That's my prediction.
Interesting.
Both,
so Zero, Atlas, and Jeffrey, your top 3. Tekken, Zero, Tekken, Atlas Copo, Maximus, my top 3. See who's right at the end of the stream, and if any of us are right, then you can pay us a $5 into PayPal. Anyways, I'm not all about the money. Don't worry about this. But here we go. The 5 red lights are about to go out here for Division 5 for TTML. It's round 1 here in Australia. The 5 red lights are on, and it is lights out and away we go, and Invictus looks like he's jumped the start again, very similar to what we saw last night. Everyone now ghosts, as predictably as this game does down in towards turn 1, but it's Invictus who leads, Atlas Copel second. I think Jeffrey's got a good start there in the background. Everyone through turn 1, I think safely. There's a spinner in the background, I think, of a racing point. That could be Jibby Storm towards the back of the field, but Invictus leads from Atlas Copel second, and that looks like Tekken in third position. You will really have to close in because I'm confused as anything about who's in what order. We're going to see the order now, and that is Atlas Copel going round. Yeah, it's on a Tekken, and Tekken has gone round, and there's a VSC. There's a VSC deployed, and then Invictus is at the race as well. And Nilsson has got a 5-second penalty as well, so quite a dramatic and quite a aggressive start, I would say, from a few drivers. They've got to calm it down, I think, these Division 5 drivers, and they've got to maintain the delta first of all. And I've just seen a bit of right side end plate damage go, and that's Nilsson that's lost it on the back of Brewich. He's got a 5-second time penalty again, twice in the space of a lap.
Yeah, definitely really, really unfortunate, and I have to say that Tekken was not in the need to try that move. He had little space and he just dived it, you know, and probably it was his own mistake, you know, to try that move there. But anyways, virtual safety car is out, so maybe some of the drivers might have a chance, you know, to maybe minimize that time that they will lose in the pits. Let's see what happens.
End of lap 1, Tekken into the pits from 16th. In fact, they're changing positions, I should say. Tom is into the bits early, but we run on board with the back of Atlas Coppo as he leads through turn 2. Still under the VSC, but Atlas Coppo leads. 0 second, Jeffrey third. Paul McGinn's up to 4th position. Good start by the Scotsman. He is on the back of Jeffrey as well. I think we're about to go back into green flag racing. Oh, perfection! That was absolute perfection. Silas has got a drive-through penalty as well for speeding under the VSC. You saw him actually just in the background behind Paul, really speeding along. So he has picked up a drive-through penalty, but we're back underway. It's green flag racing once again. The field quite spread out. It's Atlas Coppo who leads from Jeffrey in from 0 in second. Sorry, Jeffrey in third. Here comes Paul McGinn's down the inside, very late.
Nice.
There, too late. Really, really good stuff. He just about got the car stopped. He used 0 as a bit of a brake marker, to be honest. But the Scotsman is through. He's up to third. But here comes Jeffrey. Ran the outside. Oh my goodness me! And still stay in the same position. Oh my god.
He was so close from the wall. I mean, that was... Oh my god, what a margin he had. And Maximus round the outside.
No. Backs off.
Really? Yeah.
Maximus took so much quicker.
He's losing a lot of time.
He's gone into the back of Silas. Silas just locking up, running wide of the curb. It's now going to force Maximus round. Silas has spun, and Maximus surely is going to get this job done. Yeah, it says goodbye to that Alfa Romeo.
Oh, the Renault.
And Parcells down the inside as well. There's so much going on. He's going to commit it. Half commitment. He forces Silas into a bit of a mistake there. They give each other plenty of room, and that is what you want, because Parcells has just gone waltzing around the outside of him. And Eva made Parcells round up to P6. Job done.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a chaotic start with plenty of action, but definitely, I don't know why Silas didn't pit, because he's losing a lot of time, and he almost lost it. The Alfa Romeo, his teammate almost crashed into him. What happened there? I mean, that was so close. What's happening in this race?
Yeah, I think Silas actually lost a bit of end plate damage, and he nearly came across to rejoin track in front of his teammate. And that's my understanding of it anyway. Shumi's around the outside of Thomas. Around the outside, he goes through turn 10. He's up a position up to 11th. Really dropping down the field, really coming up the field actually, Shumi. Tekken is recovering well. He's in 14th on the back of Braywich. But let's see if Paul McGinn can get a move done. The top 3 are separated by only 7/10 of a second. Believe it or not, how much hectic this race has been so far, and the top 3 is still separated by less than a second. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I have to say, it seems that we could have a really good battle for the win.
Ooh.
Because it seems that this could be a freeway battle as we see Jeffrey into the pits. I don't know if he had damage or what, but really early pit stop.
Let's see as he comes into the pit then. A drive-through penalty. It's a drive-through penalty for Jeffrey, so it's going to cost him about 15 seconds, I think, through from start to finish in the pit stops. But he's got a drive-through penalty. Didn't come up on my screen, certainly, so I didn't pick up on that. Atlas Coppo still leads. 0, though, is under all sorts of pressure from the Scotsman. Paul McGinn's in 3rd. Maximus is now 4 seconds off in 4th, and has now really been granted a bit of free track. Brewich and Thomas fighting through turn 5, I think that was, and that is a switch of positions for Brewich. He's up into P10, and Shumi is up the inside of Silas as well on the mini-map that I'm seeing on board with. Shumi's through and he's up to 8th and really going about this race well, but look, at the speed, Zero using his overtake mode. This is what we talked about last week though. Zero used his overtake mode up to good effect, but not to as much to good effect as possible, because Paul McGinn is on the back of this as well, and Zero's got to try and conserve this ERS energy as much as possible. And I'll be back in a minute.
Alright. We can see that Paul McGinn is, as he said, saving a lot of ERS, and we can see now really good three-way battle. I mean, they're really, really close, and this could go on through the whole race. As we can see that Paul McGinn could actually try a move on the... No, the Alpha Tauri just have an amazing straight line speed. They both... I can see that Paul McGinn doesn't hit that much the apex, but now the Alpha Tauri could have a look down the inside on the Ferrari driver, but he's not close enough as he locks up a little bit. Good to see that we don't have any ABS merchant. Sorry to those that have actually the ABS, but ABS on this game is just too OP. And yellow flags.
All I hear you come back, I come back and hear is ABS merchant. Brilliant. Fantastic stuff.
Because I was saying that Zero didn't have the ABS on, he locked up, and I was saying that yeah, that's good to see that more drivers are getting to race without assist.
Yeah.
Because ABS on this game is a little bit OP.
It is a little bit OP. Atlas Coppo still leads though, 0.4 of a second from Zero in second. Paul McGinn's in third, just makes a slight mistake. Oh, could have easily been a spin through there for Paul McGinn's. But he stays in third and has just maybe dropped off the back, maybe out of DRS range on Zero. Saying that, actually, he comes back into DRS range.
Yeah, he's just on the edge. I mean, I think on the third sector he's pretty fast, but you're gonna see now that on the straight he is quite slow compared to the AlphaTauri. I don't know if it is because he doesn't use the overtake mode, but we can see that he cannot get close to the AlphaTauri. He doesn't reduce the gap.
Yeah, which is a shame, obviously. It is Atlas Coppo who still leads though. Zero in second, Paul McGinn's in third. Just having a look, by the way, at some of the updates that are happening in terms of the weather where I am, and thunderstorms are about half an hour away, which is fantastic. Brilliant.
Wow.
Ah.
Well, I mean, it's better that you have it, that you don't have the thunderstorm during the race, so that's gonna be perfect.
I hope not. I really hope not. Oh, Day Miles is round through turn 5 and 6. It could be a safety car. Virtual safety car. What is it with the virtual safety cars? I want to see more safety cars out on track. But
come on, I want to see blood.
It is the second VSC of the night. So that means Atlas Coppo leads, Zero second, Paul McGuinness in third. Essentially, it has now brought a race neutralisation period on. Just going to have a tune in, by the way, to see how Division 3 is going. And I know our Norwegian friend is probably watching both streams, so he's probably watching them both. But I'm going to give an update on Division 4, I should say, not Division 3. It is Martin Bell who leads, Cam second, DJ Williamson in third at this stage. And that's on lap 8, so they're ahead of us. Atlas is in, Cole's in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clever decision to make. We're in lap 6. If you go hards are not that bad choice, so definitely I think it's a clever choice.
And it's a clever choice, but 22 laps on a set of hards. Zero gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Ooh. So that's really, really hammered the chances, I think, of Zero maybe winning this one. He's going to be cost a drive-through penalty as a result. Paul is out of the pit lane in clear air, as is Atlas Coppo. So the net leaders of the race out in P10 and P11 at this stage of the race. Tekken, by the way, recovering very well. Shumi as well on the back. Tekken only down 4 positions. He got a tremendous start. He tried to go for that dive bomb down the inside and towards turn 6, but he's now on the back of the other Ferrari. How's this one going to play out? Because Shumi's on a set of hards, Tekken on a set of softs. It should be really Tekken's advantage, but those tyres are going off.
Yeah, after 7 laps, those softs, I think that you could say that it's almost on the same level as the hards. But to be honest, I think that Tekken has much more pace than Shumi, so he shouldn't have trouble to overtake the Ferrari. Oh, that's a warning.
Yeah, Tekken, I think, just cut the corner. I'm just seeing, actually, if there is any right side end plate damage possibly on that car, because it looks as if that he had some sort of front wing damage, because he really missed that, and I think he's got winglet missing on the right side end plate, if I'm not mistaken. So, Tekken...
Puzzles into the pits. No, Zero and Puzzles into the pits.
Yeah, Zero into the pits, but that's to serve as drive-through penalty.
Oh,
they has to come into the pits.
They has into the wall.
Around the final corner.
Yeah, he used
safety car! Alas!
There we go! Yes!
Safety car at last is going to really help the chances of the likes of Art Vanderlei, come into the pits. He's on a set of hards, actually, so that's not too bad. Silas is into the pits on a set of softs. Tom is in on a set of mediums. What happens now? We're going to see, I think, a change up in the race. Silas has sped into the pit lane 1 mile an hour above the pit lane entry speed limit. I've just seen that.
That's so frustrating when it happens. You know, it's just like, oh, come on, you know? It's just 1 mile per hour, you know? So, anyways, this is brilliant for Zero, because he had a drive-through penalty, which he served just before the safety car came in. So he now could do the pit stop, and maybe he could actually be well, no, I don't think he will be ahead of Paul and at last, because it's just right ahead of them. But yeah, it's gonna save him a little bit.
It is, and Maximus is actually in the lead of this race before he'll come into the pits, I think, on this lap, if I'm not mistaken. Maximus, yes, into the pits he goes from the lead of the race.
The question is, should they pit for mediums or hards? Because the safety car will be... Oh, Jeffrey has a penalty. Yeah.
Drive-through penalty for spinning under the safety car. I mean, he has just came into the pits. So... And he's trying to get back on with Delta, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, his...
Oh, and... Wait, what?
Very strange.
And Maeve was on mediums, and he just went on mediums. So he's gonna go for a two-stop. I think he's gonna try to push with those tires and end the race on softs. Will he be ahead of the Renault though? Yes, just ahead, just in front.
Yeah, just in front of Passel, so he actually lands himself in a net P4 with Schumi still yet to pit in so far. Current order is Schumi from Atlas Copel, from Paul McGinns, Maximus and Mays, the top 5, but bear into account that Schumi has still yet to pit, and judging by the amount of drivers that are coming through in this middle sector, towards the middle sector, and judging by everyone as well out on track, it is going to be quite interesting as Nilsson has spun under the safety car, coming around turn 12. He's got the car going again. Very strange one that. Nilsson, the German, down in 16th position. Hopefully he's going to deliver a good performance still out on track. The safety car I think might be out for another lap at least, but now the drivers latch on to the back eventually of this safety car queue. We could be here quite a while I think with the safety car queue.
Yeah, definitely. But two things. First, probably the McLaren driver, Magnussen, probably was taught by Raghunathan, you know, his techniques. So he was, you know, testing how those spins were made. So let's not judge him. But then also, I have to say that I don't understand what, as we can see, I am Silas left the session. He's on 13th right now. But I don't understand why Schumi didn't pit, because the safety car will be at least one more lap, and I know that maybe on lap 10 you could say, and he is back, you could say that on lap 10 put in mediums could be really, really early into the race. We can see, you know, the pit window for mediums is open.
Yeah,
but I think it's a mistake to stay for Schumi, because he could have gone onto mediums and probably could have made it till the end of the race. If Tionis is still watching, as he, you know, is pretty fast, if you could tell us if mediums could go till the end, it would be appreciated.
Thomas is in the race, I think, isn't he?
Thomas?
Yeah. Oh, Brewich has left the session, and everything has now gone completely and utterly wrong in terms of the interval timings. Fantastic. There's no interval timings on my screen.
No, neither. But as they go through the first sector, I think it will reset, or at least in one of the sectors, I hope.
I hope it does reset, because honestly, we're going to be stumped towards the start of this race once again. Beautiful sunset, by the way, where I am. It's quite black, and the thunderstorms obviously are due, and it's starting to rain. But there's a lovely sunset just out to the west of me, which is very nice indeed. I wonder if the safety car is going to wait for Nilsson. I think it is. Safety car not going to be coming in, I don't think, this lap, because Nilsson is still not on the back of the safety car queue. The safety car would have gone out on before turn 11.
Yeah.
The lights.
Yeah, you're actually right. Yeah, he's not going in. And definitely Magnussen, it's a little bit slow, I have to say. I mean, he's cutting. Probably he pitted after that spin.
He did.
So, yeah, he's halfway through to get into the pack. So, one more lap. And definitely this is going to cost Schumi and those guys that didn't pit a lot of time. Because definitely I think Schumi should have pitted, and that would have been a massive win for him, because look at May. Mace right now it's on 5th. It's true that he was on mediums and he has yet to do another stop. But if Mace was able to go out on 5th, Shumi probably could have done the same.
Yeah, May's actually quite interested, and Passels as well. They're the only two out on track on a set of mediums. So they're now committed to that 2-stop. Or do you think, with obviously being under the safety car, it's going to cost them just that tiny little bit less of tyre wear per lap? Is Mays and Passels in a position to get to the end of the race, or will they have to pit again? I think they'll have to pit.
The problem is not they have to pit or not. Mays started on mediums, so he has to pit again. Yeah, but then Puzzles, I think he could make it to the end because you saw that the pit window just opened. So in the safety car, you don't make that much tire wear. So technically, you should be able to stretch it till the end. So I don't think tire wear is going to be the problem.
Well, Passel's on a set of softs, I think he started off with, now on a set of mediums, so he is still not yet to come into the pit lane. He might have to, though, if those tyres don't last. Beautiful helicopter cameras we run on board with Shumi, and Nilsson has has got onto the back. He's got latched on to the back, I should say, of the back of the safety car queue. You know, the Division 4 race is probably halfway through by now. We are just going on towards lap 12, and the safety car is going to be coming in this lap. What does Shumi do? He's going to have to back up the pack here. And the Norwegian, who leads, actually, his teammate and his fellow Norwegian just in behind, Atlas Coppo. What happens here? I think there might be a sense, possibly, of team orders that will come into play off this safety car restart. Atlas Coppo is on... Shumi's still yet to pit. Atlas Coppo is in position in the net lead of the race. Surely this could be just a switcheroo and Shumi backs Paul McGuinness into Maximus and the likes, and Atlas Coppo gets away and wins the race. I think that's the plan. But we're about to get underway. Shumi now floors it out of the final two corners through 15 and 16, and now we're back underway here in Australia. You can already see, actually, no team orders is the order of the day. Mays has had a horrible restart, by the way, in the background, but we are back underway. Our Vanderlei has came into the pit lane. Shumi now leads. Our Vanderlei has sped into the pit lane, in fact, 5 seconds.
Side by
and
side.
Paul McGuinness around the outside of Atlas Coppo. Can the Scotsman get the move done? He can. And now Maximus is on the inside line as well. Atlas Coppo is flying back down through the field like something is not right in that car. And Maximus is round the outside of him in towards turn 4. Beautiful stuff by the by the Red Bull, I should say, not the McLaren. That's from last season. Maximus is through and he's up into P3. Atlas Coppo was literally dropped like an absolute stone. Yellow flag out of Sector 1 was Art Vanderlei. I think he had a spin coming out the pit lane.
Yeah, so unfortunate for him. But right now, I mean, I don't know what happened to Atlas. I don't know if it's the hard tire, you know, that he doesn't feel comfortable with. But really, really bad restart. And we can see the Renault all over him.
Paul McGuinness is on the back of Shumi here, running down towards turn 13. He's not going around the outside here, is he? The Scotsman, there's a spinner, Thomas has spun, and there's another safety car. It's literally a yo-yo effect in terms of the safety cars. We've got 2 VSCs and now 2 safety cars. Is this race going to get any madder at all? Stay tuned, I think. We're about to go on lap 13, and do you know what? Shumi into the pit lane. No, he's not. He's done a Hamilton from Germany 2019. In, out. He stayed out.
But Maximus,
that was a strange one. Yeah, Maximus is in. Mediums, I think, can get to the end.
Yeah, but where's the point? I mean, you have to overtake. He was in a good position. Everyone was on hards. I'm missing something, because honestly I don't see what some people are trying to do. Shumi staying out, Maximus pitting, Maith, we don't know what he's trying to do, so yeah. Unpredictable race, I have to say. Very
unpredictable so far. We ran on board with Maximus as he just came out the pit lane, but Shumi, from being in the lead, is now back under the safety car once again, and so is the whole field. Won lap 13 out of 29, lap 13 and a half if you're being picky. It's Shumi who leads. Won Paul McGuinness second, Atlas Coppo in third. It's myself, James Head, and Paco Suarez taking you through the commentary here tonight. Well, second safety car of the night, second VSC as well. What on earth has gone wrong in this race for us to deserve 4 safety cars pretty much within the first 13 laps.
Yeah, definitely chaotic race as this is just anecdotic and maybe it's a stupid comment, but I like to see the Ferrari and the Renault making that look like a Spanish flag, you know. Pretty funny. Red, yellow and red with a little bit of black, but yeah, anyways, it has been a really chaotic race, and it's gonna be interesting because some drivers are trying alternative strategies which might work or might not, but it's definitely gonna be interesting, and we don't even know if there's gonna be more safety cars because definitely that turn 12 it's I don't understand what it is. Why do you pit now? Well, probably mediums.
Yeah, it'll be mediums, but he's into the pit lane, and Schumi, yeah, will go on the yellow wall compounder tyre, which is the medium compounder tyre. And Schumi now, from the lead of the race, falls to Paul McGuinness now into the lead of the race. And to be honest, Paul McGuinness got the move done on Atlas Coppo cleanly and fairly. He got the move done and has stayed ahead of Atlas Coppo throughout that last lap. And the Scotsman, I think, is in a better position than Atlas Coppo at this stage for him to win this race. Mays obviously has got to pit because he started on a set of mediums and is back onto a set of mediums. Mays, though, what's his strategy from here in third position? Is it to attack the drivers in front, get into the lead and then pit? Or is it to try and hold the guys back, like Passelt and Tekken, and Jibby Storm as well, the two Racing Points doing quite well? Is it to hold them back and possibly force Jeffrey into play later on in the race?
Yeah, it's really difficult to go, and just as a note that I've taken, the only guy that we could say we are predicting well in the podium right now, that I think you're nailing a safety car in this lap, it's Atlas Coppo. Atlas in P2.
Yeah, second. Currently second. Zero, by the way, is down in 7th, which is not too bad. And the others that I predicted, who did I else predict? Maximus down in 13th. And somebody else, I think. Anyways, safety car about to restart.
Tekken?
Tekken, I think it was. Yeah, Tekken, yeah. I think, in 5th position. But Paul McGuinness, anyways, is going to start us off once again under the safety car restart. He now floors it into the safety car. Has he overdone this, you know? Safety car into the pits, beautifully done. And what a restart. Paul McGuinness has pulled 2 seconds away from Atlas Coppo, caught absolutely napping. And the Scotsman might have just been all of the race here. Here comes Tekken down the inside of Passelt, very late on the brakes. Beautiful move in for the Racing Point. And he's up into 4th. Jibby Storm is trying to go around the outside of Passelt as well. So side by side between the Renault, Schumi and Nilsson, I think that is. It's Tom, and Nilsson that have been caught up in a collision. Good spot there. Packer was right on board, but Jimmy was trying to go around the outside of Passelt. There's so much going on. Luckily, no safety car for these guys. Passelt runs wide, Jimmy Storm runs wide, but Paul McGuinness just flew away from the start. 2.8 seconds. Has he just won the race there and then?
I would say so. Let's hope that he hasn't win the race with that move, but I would say so.
I would hopefully say so as well. 3 seconds is the gap. Atlas Coppo in second, Mays in third. I am just shutting my curtains and my blinds, by the way, because it is getting quite dark here with the thunderstorm coming. But Paul McGuinness leads, Atlas Coppo second, Mays in third. We are just halfway through.
Ooh,
and now Jeffrey round the outside and Silas. Beautiful move. Round the outside, he goes up to 8th.
Really good move. I mean, both of them had respect for each other, and he just did it. Yeah.
Oh, and I Am Nobody's gone into the back of Maximus as well. Both of them coming into the pits, are they? Silas and I Am Nobody. What on earth is going on? They were side by side. It looked like they were both coming into the pit lane there, to be honest. I'm clueless as to what happened there. Goodness me.
Chaotic. There's no other word to describe the race, as we can see May losing the position to Tekken, who is now in third. And watch out, because we saw that Tekken was pretty fast. And if he had the pace that he had in quali, I think he could win the race.
Yeah, for sure, and he's in the third position actually now. Mays down to fourth as a result of that. Hard's beginning to come into play. Mediums might be just wearing slightly. Gotta say, Zero actually got the move done down in towards turn 3 and is doing a good job, but the AlphaTauri now could come under pressure. Jimmy Storm has saved up 80% of ERS, Zero only on 45, so about 35% difference in terms of ERS management in favour of the Dutchman, who was on the back of Zero.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the Racing Point has a little bit more of pace. I was trying to see if it was the tire, but it's not. But we can see that both of them have rapidly catch puzzles, so it should be an easy task for them.
Yeah, Zero really caught up coming through turns 11 and 12. And it's now on the back of Passel once again. No DRS enabled, but at the end of lap 16 onto 17, it is the lead for Paul McGuinness from Atlas Copel second. Tekken and third, there is Maximus on the back of Jibby Storm. Fresh out of the pits, mediums will get to the end. Maximus could be the one to watch later on in the race. I'm nobody into the pit lane. Salah still continuing on. No overtake, Zero nearly into the back of Parcells there. Just saw that in the foreground of shot. Paul McGuinness the lead. Atlas Copel second, Tekken in third. Tekken on 2-lap pressure tyres and Atlas Copel really beginning to reel them in. And are we going to get a sense of deja vu from what happened on lap 1? I really hope not.
Interesting question. I mean, Tekken has to be really, really patient, because if he just gets nervous, you know, and try to make the overtake as soon as possible, he's just going to bottle again.
Yeah, he is using a different line coming through. He should have just used up a little bit of overtake mode coming actually through turns 12 and through 11 and 12 now. He opens up the DRS, but he's not close enough. Atlas Copel already 4.5 tenths ahead. The gap is closing, but Tekken stays in behind. Maximus on the back of Jibby Storm, both in a DRS train though, so no overtaking. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. It's on Silas's round. Yeah. Silas's round through turn 12. Not Vanderlei and Nilsson, I think, are going to go past. Silas has got no damage. Wow.
No. Oh, and Maximus make the pass on that before
on
the last
Storm,
corner.
Shumi as well, trying to get in. Tekken down the inside of Atlas Copel. Through turn 1 and 2 we go with the top with 2 out of the top 3. Atlas Copel now on the inside line, Tekken on the outside line, and Atlas Copel I think is just going to have the drag, but Tekken around the outside. Can he get the move done? The Brit against the Norwegian. Brilliant stuff by Tekken, turning a negative into a positive. That is what you like to see. Clean, fair racing. He made up for that dive bomb down in towards turn 6 on lap 1, and Tekken has got the move done. He's up to second, but at what cost? Because Paul McGuinness is 6.5 seconds up the road.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul McGinn probably won the race. I mean, Tekken has a little bit more of pace, but I don't see him cutting. You know, if he does it, I would consider him the new Mashiro.
The new Mashiro. That's quite an interesting wordage there, to be honest. Zero's on the back of Parcells. Look at Maximus as well, right on the back of these two. Just made a slight mistake coming through turn 12, but now Zero on the back of Parcells. Both of them actually just, I think, having DRS. Oh my god, Maximus, I thought he was going to go into the back of Zero.
Yeah, I mean, look at that three-way battle. I mean, it's just insane. Parcells could go till the end of the race, so he's actually fighting for that position. And it's exciting to see, because we can see that definitely Zero and Maximus have a better pace.
Yeah, Maximus really closing in down towards turn 1. Zero pulls to the right-hand side. Maximus around the outside on pressure tyres. Zero pushes him off track. To be fair, he was the car ahead. Maximus now on the receiving end of that, and Zero stays in 6th position for now. Aggressive defending, but I think worthwhile defending, because he was the car ahead.
No, I mean, Zero did brilliantly. I mean, he was ahead, he had the position, so he had the right to... He didn't push Maximus wide. Maximus was clever enough to know that he didn't have the space, and he just backed off. So, intelligent move from Zero, but also my respects to Maximus for not going for the move.
It has just started raining, by the way, and the thunder is incoming. It is literally about 20 miles down the road, but Maximus on the back of Zero. Lap 19 out of 29. Paul McGinn's leads. Tekken second. Atlas Copel in third. Mays in fourth. With Parcells fifth. Zero in sixth. But for how much longer are these two going to be in the same positions? Maximus is running rings, I think, around these two out on track. Have a look further down the field. Jeffrey's getting closer to Nilsson. The McLaren picking up some pace now, but Jeffrey is on the back of him, coming through turns 11 and 12. And Nilsson actually just a little bit hesitant, as was Jeffrey through there, and Maximus on the back of Zero as we come down the start-finish line. Is it this time? Is it second time lucky for Maximus? I don't think he's close enough. He's got to think about it around the outside, but again, Zero tries to defend the position. It's still side by side, though. Zero just about hangs on, and Shumi, oh my god, he's on the inside line. He's on the grass and backs
Maximus
off.
has damage on the right end plate.
Yeah, right hand side end plate, and he nearly picked up more damage there as well, actually, Maximus. So Zero stays in 6th, but again, at what cost? Jeffrey, by the way, is through on Nilsson for P12 further down the field. Top 15 positions, by the way, do get points out on track, which is brilliant. As would all 19 drivers if they were still continuing.
Yeah, indeed it makes, and that's, I think it's a good decision, you know, a good system. So, because it motivates the driver, you know, to finish the race and to keep on fighting. As we can see, definitely now, the AlphaTauri finally overtaking. Yeah, easy move with the RS. Oh, wait, the Renault, I think, cannot give up yet. Nah, but it's an easy move from Zero.
I think we're seeing actually the transition from now mediums to hards, I think, later on in this race. The guys that pitted early, as Nilsson picks up a 3-second time, like Zero all out of shape. Oh my god, Parcells on the inside. Wrong place, wrong time, simple as that. Parcells' race has been, I think, ruined, not in the wrong way, to be honest, but Zero had a spin, tried to rejoin track. Parcells tried to go for a gap that was inevitably going to close, and it's simple as that. He's had to come into the pit. Then Maximus is in on a set of softs as well to repair his front damage, and Zero stays in 5th position. Purely, he lost it. I would say that's a racing incident, to be honest.